Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ahmadi and Nishat Islam English broadcasts, Lessons in Islam. We have been discussing the significance of the Kalima. And although we discussed one aspect of it, what I have done is, and I'm going to try and see if this works, is to look at a slideshow. We looked at it last week, but not properly. I didn't run it properly. So fingers crossed, here it goes. This is a PowerPoint presentation that I set up. I tried to play it last week, but it didn't play properly. So let us see if this works this time.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
This is Laser International Lahore Ahmadiyya School of Education in Religion, which we are going to call these things from now on as we prepare these lessons for our brothers and sisters. So we start with the 5 pillars of Islam. And these pillars are the Shahada, or the declaration of faith. And the next one is Salat, pray to Allah. The next one is Zakat, or charity. And the next one is Saum, fasting. And the last one is Hajj, or pilgrimage to Makkah. These are the 5 pillars of Islam. And we started discussing Shahada last time. And in this unit, we're going to look at the Shahada, which we started last week. And the Shahada, how it's written in Arabic, how its Arabic looks when written in English alphabet, what it sounds like, and how important the Shahada is in a Muslim's life. So these are the things we're going to look at. So the Shahada, what is it? It is basically a declaration of faith. This is what makes you a Muslim. And we had this a couple of weeks ago when we started on this, who is a Muslim, and I explained that anyone who recites the Shahada is a Muslim. And no one has a right to say to them that you are not a Muslim. And it's made up of 2 parts. The first part, in the first part, a Muslim declares openly and sincerely that the only being that is divine, that is worth worshipping. The only God is Allah and no one else. And the second part, in the second part, a Muslim declares also openly, publicly, and sincerely that the Holy Prophet Muhammad is Allah's messenger. It's as simple as that to become a Muslim. What is the importance of this declaration? And as I said, it's the public, open, and sincere declaration of this simple sentence or two sentences, depends on how you recite it, that makes a person a Muslim. So that is the first significance, that the declaration brings you into the fold of Islam. And I explained previously, earlier on, and in an earlier lecture, that once you've recited the Shahada, then you're a Muslim, and that is it. And all such people who recite the Shahada are brothers and sisters. It is their duty to help and support each other when doing good and try and persuade them not to do the wrong thing. This goes back to a hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, when he said, when someone does good, help them. And then when someone does something bad, help them. And people were puzzled by this. They said, "O Prophet of Allah, we can understand helping people when they do good, but we can't understand helping people when they do something wrong. What does that mean?" And the Holy Prophet said, that is to explain to them and persuade them not to do the wrong thing. Next, by announcing the Shahada, we say that the only thing that we obey without question is Allah. And we are not impressed by anyone else. However rich, however powerful, we don't turn to anyone else for help. And its importance lies in the fact that you don't make statements like, if I told the president that his idea was stupid, he would have sacked me, and I would have lost my job, and I would have lost my earning and livelihood. Because what you're doing by saying this is that the president is equal to God. It wasn't God, it wasn't Allah who gave you your job, but it was the president. And that is the importance of this public and sincere declaration. It is Allah who gives me anything. It is Allah who gives me a job. It's Allah who gives me knowledge. It's Allah who gives me education. It's Allah who gives me experience. And I always turn to Him and to no one else. And then that is fine. You do that. But what human beings are always after is an example, a role model. Since the 50s or perhaps even 30s, the role models were actors and actresses. Whatever fashion they adopted, people accepted it and tried to use it. And then pop singers, from 50s, from 40s onwards, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, pop singers became role models. To the extent that when Beatles went to India to seek peace, thousands upon thousands of youngsters followed them. Some would fly from America to Europe, and then from Europe by road, they'll travel to India. Why? Because Beatles had gone and sat at the feet of Maharishi Yogi to learn peace, to enter into peace. Here you're saying it's not the Beatles who are my role model. It's not Marilyn Monroe who's my role model. It's not Clint Eastwood who's my role model. My role model is the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the point you're making is this. I have said that I will not be impressed by any human being. I will not turn to any human being for help and guidance and solace and everything else. Has there been a human being who has done that and succeeded? And you say yes. First of all, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, and next, his companions. This is where we differ from our Christian friends, because they say Jesus said, turn the other cheek. And my reply to that is, well, that's very fine. That's very good teaching. But I have two problems with that. Number one, he was the Son of God. So if he can turn the other cheek, that's fine. I'm a human being. Show me a human being who, when hit on one side of the face, has turned the other cheek. I want a human being to set me this example, not the Son of God. If you give me an example and say God has done this, God has created the universe and so on, I'll say, well, yeah, well, fine, yes, he can do it. I can't do it. And that is the point about saying that the Holy Prophet Muhammad is his messenger and his servant. And that is the point. That here is a human being. He did it. Why can't you do it? The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when asked, never claimed to be above other human beings. He never claimed to be above some, living in some kind of celestial, heavenly abode from which he could do things. He said, I'm a human being. During a battle, he was struck by a sword and he was hurt, just like you and me would be. He ate, he drank water. He needed food, he needed water. He married, he had children, he had friends, he was a trader. He traded. He was born an orphan, then he became a trader, then he became a prophet, then he became a head of state. And that's the point. He went through phases that every human being goes through. And you say, wow, I'll behave the same way as he did. And I know how he did that, because I have two things. I have his sunnah. What is sunnah? The way he did something. And people saw. For example, our prayers. Thousands of people saw the way he prayed. And then, of course, his hadiths, things he said, and people related to others. But these hadiths wasn't written down for at least 100 years after the Holy Prophet Muhammad. So you will find that the hadith starts with A said to B, who said to C, who said to D, who said to E, who said that the Holy Prophet Muhammad told him. And much checking was done for their authenticity and all this kind of thing. But when you're relating things from one to another, then they change. It's normal and natural and human. And the other thing to remember is that the person who's relating the hadith may not have understood the context of the hadith correctly. He might have come through halfway through a conversation and heard the Holy Prophet say something that actually turns the meaning on its head. But anyway, the point was about the Holy Prophet being an example. He sets a model for us in his sunnah, in his actions that everyone saw, and things which were related by him. So we look at what is Shahada in Arabic. So in Arabic, the first part looks like this. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Ashhadu, I bear witness. La ilaha, there is no God. Illallah, except Allah. That is how the first part looks. And the second part looks, Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Wa and ashhadu, I bear witness. Anna Muhammadan Rasul. That Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. See how easy and simple it is to embrace Islam as long as you do it truly and sincerely. So in English, you would write it like this: Ashhadu al la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. This is how you would write the Arabic using English alphabet. And as I said, it means I testify, I bear witness that apart from Allah, there is no God. I mean, literally, if you look at the Arabic, it is I bear witness, I testify that there is no God apart from Allah, and that Muhammad is Rasulullah, messenger of Allah. So, well, that says by clicking on this link, you can hear this in Arabic, but I've already recited it in Arabic. And the thing is, Muslims love the Kalima so much, and it has such an important place in their lives that a whole field of art and artistry is based on this. You can see the symbolism in the first one. It is in the shape of a man, but words that are written there are the words of the Kalima. And it symbolizes the fact that it's a human being who's bowing while he's sitting down. He's sitting down in front of Allah. And then you have the next one, where in the middle, Allah is more prominent. And that shows that Allah is supreme over everything. He is above everything. So Allah is on the top. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So Allah is on the top. That symbolizes God's majesty and his power over everything. And here I have an assignment. Those of you who are keen. So your homework is, yes, it's bad news. You thought you'll get away with it, but here is some homework. And it says, look at the Shahada written in Arabic in the last slide, or slide 9, and then try writing it yourself to get some practice of writing a little Arabic and copying it. Not last slide, but the slide before, slide number 9. And then to make sure that you understood it and you remember it in Arabic, then try writing it out without looking at it. And just like on the last slide, beautiful patterns are made of La ilaha. Here is a task for you to do, and that is to come up with a beautiful pattern of the Shahada or the testimony of faith. And then the next task is to look at the Shahada written in Arabic and compare it with the English alphabet and try and match the Arabic to the English by using the sounds in your head. So, but remember, there's a warning here that Arabic is written in the opposite way to English. Arabic is written from right to left. English is written from left to right. Sorry, I've got a message here saying having trouble connecting, although it's connected. Um, now we are back. Right. Okay. Sorry about the hiccup. So yes, so we were talking about that, and then you can. Well, you can't go back to slide 9 and listen to the Shahada, but what you can do is recitation is available on the internet, and so what you can do is um, download audio and then listen to it. So, and try and memory. so that you remember that. Second homework, I hope you're making notes of this. In next lesson, I'll be asking you questions about this. So, find out what is meant by transliteration. That's a new word I've introduced. Transliteration. What is it? What does that mean? And in some slides, S is used in brackets after the name of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. So, what does that mean? And in some places, you'll find S is replaced by. So, find out and write a paragraph about it. Oh, here we are. Hint, in your research, you may find PBUH written in brackets. What does that mean? And what's the difference between the two? And in the light of what you think, why do you think that in some places S or PBUH is not written after the name of the Holy Prophet Muhammad? So, this is end of basic unit 1. Congratulations. If you got as far as this, you successfully understood, I hope, this lesson. Next time, we move on to the second pillar. And I hope during the week, I will be able to do another presentation which speaks about Salat or the ritual prayers. I'm I'm not so concerned about the actual sort of physical aspects of it, because if you go to the internet, you can get the Muslim prayer book by Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ali, and the physical aspects are all given in there. What times you're supposed to pray and the postures. Maybe I may get round to actually doing a presentation on that. But next week, I want to look at the reason why Muslims are asked to pray 5 times a day. Our next broadcast is at 7 p.m., which is both in Urdu and in English. First 15 minutes are in Urdu and next 15 minutes are in English, when we analyze the words of the Holy Quran to see what what its message is for humanity. And then following that, at 10 p.m., we have the Ramadan prayers, and these are only during, as I said, the Ramadan prayers, special Taraweeh prayers, which are said during Ramadan. And then, of course, the same pattern is repeated in the following week. Thank you very much for joining us. Until we meet again, I pray Allah keeps all of you, whoever you are, wherever you are, regardless of your religion, sect, color, creed, caste, etc., free from harm and under His protection. Assalamu alaikum, Khuda Hafiz, goodbye.